Hi everybody and welcome to Path of Peace. Thank you so much for joining me once and again. This time we will be doing a reading for the theme of anxiety. So if possibly you have been feeling really anxious lately or maybe over a longer period of time, then let's just do some supportive reading. It is not a substitution for therapy or medical care, but it is like that extra layer of kindness or insight that you can receive into your situation. So let's just take a look. What is the root? What may be the root, the most significant root of that anxiety right now in this moment as you are coming into this video? Okay, and we have a death card. Death card. And I will pull out also how we can navigate, like strategy for that anxiety. So let me pull out 2 more cards as strategy. And let's see what's going on in here. We have the Hermit card and we have the Hierophant. Like all cards from Big Arcana, something significant going on in here. So the root of anxiety, we have Death card. Death is transition. Death is like change. Death is also connected with loss, grieving. So it almost feels like there can be this anxiety somehow connected with loss, maybe loss of someone in your life, maybe loss of something in your life, maybe you have lost your home or a job, or somebody died in your life, you lost a relative. Or it can simply be that you are picking up on that collective energy of that deep transformation that is happening in the world and that is connected with loss, lot of changes, lot of pain, even like a lot of unnecessary suffering, many people being in suffering. But at the same time, this may be deep anxiety or deep uncertainty or deep grief, wherever that it falls for your specific situation. It is like an invitation, maybe not exactly an easy invitation, but still an invitation to embody a higher and more peaceful consciousness here on earth and in your life. Because as the death goes through the land, there is the symbol of the priest, the Hierophant, which is very interesting because we have Hierophant in this reading as well. So I will get to it just in a moment. So it is an invitation to see this as like this big cleansing, big letting go. When we face death, we suddenly realize death is usually like this very deep moment of awakening, because we suddenly realize how we have been using our life, that life on earth is sacred and eventually it's very short. So what is important in life? It is also usually death is forcing us to see and connect on a much deeper level with our spiritual essence, understanding that we are, in a sense, immortal. We are changing forms, we are energy, we are love, which is another significant aspect of this card, these symbols of the children, which is innocence, love, purity. And that is what we take beyond death. We take our spiritual essence and we take our heart, we take love. So it is like a big awakening, maybe this, and I don't know where it falls into your life because we are working with the theme of anxiety. You have to make your own journaling or meditation with it and just really see where is it that it connects with my life and what is the deeper calling of my soul. How can I use this transformation? How can I use this anxiety to connect with something much deeper and meaningful in my life? And it keeps repeating, the message keeps repeating because we have the Hierophant card. And it is ultimately that connection with the spiritual dimension. It is also talking about how we use that energy, that life force. Do we bow down to some false authorities? Because for many people, there is some hierarchy or some authority within religion. Yeah, so many times we can find that spirituality in religion, but religion itself, it's not spirituality. It is you cultivating that connection with God, with love in your own heart. So on some level, we are also called to see that there is not spiritual authority outside of us, that it is our own deep connection with that loving heart, with that divine self, with God. I also feel that because there is so much spiritual divine energy, I also feel that that anxiety, that fear, that grief, that loss, whatever it is for you, it is like a spiritual lesson. It is something that you will be able eventually to digest and go through and emerge on the other side much stronger, much stronger, maybe much more peaceful, with a much more deeper understanding of life, what life is about, who we are, where we come from, what is the essence of life. So maybe you may not feel it right now in that turmoil of that anxiety, or in that turmoil of that fear, or in that turmoil of that transformation, or whatever that is going in your life or in the place where you live. Maybe it is not visible yet, but it is happening. And this is like this beautiful invitation to have that higher perspective, even if it's difficult, to have that light, which is the Hermit card, seeing that inner light. Maybe when all the lights around us just fade away, it gives us that unique opportunity to continue seeing that light within, which is the Hermit card. It is also talking about maybe something like a gestation time, in that if you feel a lot of grief or anxiety, or there is a strong transformation going on in your life, take your time. Hermit is about that winter time, that introspective time, taking your time, walking slowly, continue focusing on that inner light, continue focusing on how can I strengthen myself from within. And it can be as simple as waking up in the morning and saying your prayer of gratitude, or a mantra, a peaceful mantra that will give some kind of framework for your day. Something that you can do for yourself, or a nourishing meal, little quiet time in nature, anything that can support you in this deep healing and transformation. And I also pulled out one more card from Jamie Sams, like animal card, which is the strategy. And we have eagle, which is truly fascinating because eagle is also a very spiritual symbol. It is the connection with God. It is the connection with divine. It is having that higher perspective and understanding that usually we mature, our soul matures through challenges. And the deeper the challenge, the more strength and healing we can get from that. So the eagle card is once and again inviting us to embrace the fear, embrace the anxiety, see a bigger picture, understand that maybe this is this unique opportunity to very deep healing or transformation, letting go of things that maybe were not true about your life anymore. So it is like a calling. I feel like maybe your fear, your anxiety, it may be connected very deeply with really like this very deep spiritual transformation, in that eventually you will get a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom, because wisdom is for those who are willing to walk through their own turmoils, fears, and challenges. And it may not look that way. You know, when we are in the middle of that vortex, we may not see that light. We may not see the end of the tunnel. But as I feel it, as I perceive it from this reading, it is coming. Be kind with yourself, be gentle with yourself, ask for help if you need. Connect with that what is supporting you. Connect with that is bringing more stability. And maybe have a little bit like a higher vision for your life. Maybe like seeing what is it that you can bring into this world, what is it that you can birth into this world. What is it that maybe you need to find about yourself? Because the hermit is also like this invitation to see our gifts and see our potential and how we can use it. So like this very beautiful reading. I hope that it will support you at least a little bit on your own healing journey, maybe to find some new strategies with overcoming the anxiety as you allow these processes to happen in your life. If possibly these processes are somehow way too intense, then you can always step back. You know, you don't have to pile it up and solve everything right away. It almost feels like there is this divine power, divine love that is protecting your life. You know, you do not need to rush. You do not need to push yourself through it. It's like this slow digesting, slow transformation. Yeah, so that's also the hermit card, because it goes inward. It is not some kind of super active energy. Okay. So this is like very beautiful. I hope that it somehow will support you. You can let me know in the comments indeed. And thank you so much for joining me. And I will be looking forward to connect with you soon. Bye bye for now.